in a bit. But basically, tonight is do or die, Europa League or bust. It's literally everything we have left. We gave up in the Premier League. And today is whether we still remain in Europe or not for European football. Will we be in a Europa League conference tonight, or will we actually do the club proud, do our players proud, and do our fans proud? We're ninth in the Premier League, and that's unacceptable. We gave up all our hopes for the Europa League, and tonight is do or die, win or bust. I'm nervous about the lineup. I'm nervous about this game. Emery's game with Sevilla, he's won Europa Leagues a couple of times. He knows the Europa League in and out. And in the first leg, they really done us over. We weren't at our A game. We weren't at our best. I'm nervous for today. Really nervous on what the lineup is going to be. From the pictures that I've seen on Twitter, it seems like Tierney and Lacazette have been back in training. Thank you for joining, True Gooner. Big up Football Daily Talk. Thanks for joining. Hi, Ryan. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining. Do let me know your predicted formation. I'm nervous about the formation. So what I was saying was Tierney and Lacazette were pictured in training. However, I don't know if Tierney is actually going to be match fit enough to play. Big up, Chatters. Hope you're well. Big up, Revanite. I hope your interview went well, mate. Big up, Charlie. Of course, you're rooting against us, always. And big up, Footy Boy. I think he'll be close 2-1 to you guys. You go through an extra time. I really don't want the game to be an extra time. I don't think I can handle that. Yes, True Gooner, I am really nervous as well. In terms of the lineup, I don't want to see Willian on that lineup. I feel like we're going to see Hector Bellerin, unfortunately. Big up, Relentless. Thank you for joining, mate. I feel like we're going to see Willian on the lineup. Hopefully not, but I don't know. To me, it seems like Arteta is going to start Willian. I hopefully not. Big up, Chilwell. In terms of yesterday's massacre, I know a lot of you guys know my second team, my Spanish club, is Real Madrid. Just to touch upon that, this comment right here sums it up. Yes, we didn't deserve to win yesterday, and hats off to Tactic Tuchel for winning you guys into a spot in the final of Champions League football. Not that you guys are going to win. I think you guys have high chances of it, but in that case, I'm backing City because I want Aguero to lift that trophy before he's out in a free agent. I am nervous about the lineup. I'm really hoping that Cedric is on the starting lineup. I would want to see a Gabriel pairing. I want to see Cedric on that lineup. I do want to mention Martinelli. However, Mikel Arteta is not going to start Martinelli. If he does, this stream is going to age like spoiled milk. I'm nervous for the lineup. I would love us to play a 4-4-3-2-1. Or a 3-4-3, but we all know Arteta's formations and what he swears by. I don't want to see Granit Xhaka at left back. Granit Xhaka's position at left back is a nightmare to watch. I would like to see Matt Ryan starting for us. I do think he deserves more game time, not to be harsh on Bernd Leno. Bernd Leno has done a lot of saves for us in that first leg against Villarreal. However, I feel like Matt Ryan deserves more game time, considering the news that broke out recently with Leno not wanting to stay anymore. In terms of that, I do feel, and I said this early on, that we did sell the wrong keeper. And the reason Martinez was sold to Aston Villa was because so we could rack up funds for Thomas Partey. Now, Thomas Partey, to be very honest with you guys, I have not been proud of him entirely. The way he was at Atleti and the way he is at Arsenal, it just seems like the minute he got the Arsenal shirt on him, he became made out of string and became very injury prone. I am going to open the lines in a bit, so if anyone wants to join me on the panel, do feel free. Please remember that this is a family-friendly channel, so if you guys can avoid foul language, that would be greatly appreciated. Anyone who wants to join, please be respectful of the chat, and I do value opposing views as well. So I am about to open the lines, and thank you in advance for whoever is joining me on the panel. If not, I'll continue talking about how I see this game is going to go. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for congratulating me on my graduation. Yes, it's official. I've officially finished with undergrad and sort of getting into the next steps of my life. It's a nice little break I have. Hopefully Arsenal can do us proud tonight. I'm really nervous on what's going to happen tonight. I'm already getting the shaky legs and the anxiety. I'm very nervous about that lineup because our whole, evening at the Emirates depends on that lineup. Thank you so much, my Moonlight Sonata, Georgie. I am going to do that piece for you. I haven't forgotten. Thank you, Paul, for joining. I just want to wish you good luck on your channel for when you start it up again. And thank you so much for supporting me from the start. Another thing I wanted to mention on here, it hasn't updated yet in StreamYard or on my YouTube account, but I recently hit 1.4K in the past week. Somehow people are watching my content, and I think it's FPL content creators. So big up the FPL content creators who recently subscribed to me. Thank you, everybody, for your congratulations and for your support. I really appreciate it. So this is another thing. The protest is going on tonight at the Emirates for the Kroenke out, the KSC out enterprise. We don't want the American owners anymore. For 13 years, we have tolerated an American owner who's nothing but selfish and only cares about putting money and filling his pockets up even more. The Kroenke family is the 6th richest family in the world. His wife owns Walmart, which is an American company similar to Tesco. Another thing I wanted to mention was with the protests going on, the way that the Glazers and the Man United fans handled it, I don't want to see that happening. I'm not someone who condones or encourages violence of any sort. And if that happens at the Emirates tonight, UEFA is going to kick us out. UEFA does not like Arsenal to begin with, and it's going to be nerve-wracking and very disappointing if we get kicked out if people choose the wrong way to protest. Jonathan says, Melina, did you buy one of those funky square hats to throw in your house? I am so nervous, Jonathan. I think you're going to be rooting for us. Hopefully Emery doesn't give us a bad evening again. I'm really nervous. And Static is simply joining. No, I often, if you guys don't already know, I often go live spontaneously, and I don't really tell people when I'm going live. I've not really developed the confidence enough to let people know when I'm going live. I do want to bring in Ryan here. So Ryan is a Cardiff City fan. He's on his way to 100 subscribers. If you guys can please check out his channel, it's called That Cardiff City Fan, and he has really good football opinions. He's young for his age, but he does know football and he does talk ball. So let's bring him in. Hi,
Hello.
Ryan. Mate.
I'm good.
So, as someone who sees Arsenal from the outside, and I know you've been on Natisha's channel, Beyond the Post a lot. What do you think about tonight? You think we're going to turn up, put on a good performance, or do you think we're going to get humiliated?
The main thing you need to know is that Villarreal have a squad. Basically, most of their players are over 30 or coming up to 30. Yeah, so.
And also their star player who was pocketing Granit Xhaka last week, thank God he can't play. Villarreal have a lot of strong players. We can't underestimate them. We do know how they done us over in the first leg. But now, tonight, we're playing at the Emirates. We're playing, somewhere where we have a home ground advantage. But let's see how it goes. I'm really nervous in terms of whether this game will go into extra time. If it goes into extra time and we win, I will be the happiest person I've ever been, more than actually celebrating graduating post-secondary school. I just want to say a big up to James. Thank you for joining. Unlucky at Everton defeat the other day, but hopefully you guys win your next match. What's the score prediction for Arsenal? Yeah, so some of you guys in the chat have been quite confident. Some of us and most of us are nervous and hanging on for our dear lives. I am going for a 2-1 Arsenal, up the Arsenal. I will continue to back my team, even though I'm not confident. I'm not confident until I see that lineup. Let me just put that out there. And I want to know, will Arteta test a stupid formation again, play a false 9, trying to imitate Pep Guardiola, which clearly didn't work and backfired against us. We shot ourselves in the foot that way. Big up, Ricardo. Thank you for joining, mate. Hope you're well. Football Daily Talk says, if it goes to penalties, I don't think I can watch. Penalties are absolute beauty to watch in football, although it's really stressful when it's your club playing. I wanted penalties yesterday against Chelsea for the UCL. Jonathan says it's going to be 2-2. Wow. And Football Daily Talk says 2-1 Arsenal, 10-9 on pens. Ryan, what do you think our sort of starting formation will be and our lineup? Do you reckon we'll actually start a striker? So the last leg, I don't know if you recall, Ryan, we didn't bring on a striker on that pitch. We had 3 of them on the bench, mind you, and we didn't bring a striker on until the last 5 minutes of the game. What are your thoughts on that?
But I think you'll go for a 3-4-3. I think it's probably one of the best formations for now.
4-3-3? 3-4-3. Yeah. A 3-4-3 is what we should do because then we're more clinical that way. I'm scared on, are we going to start a striker? And Aubameyang recently, he posted on social media saying he's ready for the game. It's all down to Arteta at this point. And I know there's a bigger problem than this incompetent manager. It's the board and the management and, of course, the Kroenke enterprise. I really hope this protest doesn't go out of hand because if it happens that way, we will be kicked out of Europe and we won't be given a second chance at the competition. Thank you for joining, Sharky. I hope you're well. Great watch long you done, by the way. You need to win by scoring 3 or 4 more goals. I don't see you keeping a clean sheet tonight. Yeah, that's another thing. Thank you for joining, Reese. It's your first time here. Thanks for joining, mate. That's another thing. Arsenal cannot keep a clean sheet tonight. The only way we can keep a clean sheet is by putting our dirty sheets in the dryer and clicking wash. It's so sad to say that, but I think, and this goes back to Revenite's comment here, is Arsenal, the biggest threat we have to our club is not Arteta. It is Kroenke. But the second thing is it's our own players who, mess up. And thank Lord Ceballos got a red card and got sent off in the first leg because I know damn well he would have started today. Excuse my language. And seeing Danny Ceballos play in an Arsenal shirt, thank God that's not going to happen anymore. He is leaving the club in the summer. He should have been not allowed back in London, but hey ho, they gave him another chance. But it's nice that he won't be playing because he is a big liability to our club. Thank you, Naya, for joining. I hope you're well. I believe that's Ibrahim. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's Ibrahim drawing. So thank you, everybody, for joining in the chat. If you haven't already, do make sure to leave a like, comment below your thoughts, and subscribe if you haven't already. Please check out the pinned comment. The pinned comment is a channel who does gaming videos and someone really close to me. So if you can please support his content, that'd be greatly appreciated. And Ryan over here on the panel with me is on the road to 100 subscribers. And it would be really nice if you can show him support as well. He does know a lot of other football clubs than Cardiff City. Ryan, in terms of our sort of starting lineup, do you reckon who's going to be left back? That's the biggest concern we have tonight is Tierney match fit? And if Tierney's not match fit, who will be the left back? Do you think it will be Granit Xhaka? Or do you think we would see Saka at left back or so? Big up, Lewis.
To be honest, I don't think Xhaka should be left back.
No, he is dreadful at left back. That's not his natural position too.
It's not.
And I don't know why Arteta is. Yeah, it's center midfield, and I don't know why Arteta keeps putting him there. It's clearly not working, and it's setting us up for failure. In all sense. Revenite says, imagine if it's an all-English finals, UEFA will be fuming. Yeah, I think it is going to be, and it's nice because there's a United fan in the chat here, Reese. It's nice to see you guys in the final. Hopefully we make our way there. But if you guys get Villarreal, I hope he batters you guys and gives you guys a bad evening. Big up 1-1 and big up the one and only Randy Viper in the chat. Thank you for joining, everybody. I think if Granit Xhaka should not be left back, I want to make that clear. I think Saka should be left back, and I want to see the Pepe and Martinelli duo. Martinelli, that situation is getting really disappointing. All that talent is left out, and we're starting to ask a lot of questions on why this is happening. Why is this the case? What has Martinelli done to deserve to be benched and deserve not to get much game time. It's similar with the Man United fan in here with Donny van de Beek. Donny van de Beek and James also is not getting much game time. It's interesting on how Ollie deals with that versus how Arteta deals with that. I think Arteta on the weekend after we won against Newcastle, Arteta mentioned that, thank you for joining, Sophie. Hope you're well. So Arteta mentioned after the game against Newcastle that, oh, I love Martinelli more than you guys. And it was like, whoa, 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 take a step back. If you love Martinelli more than us, why aren't you giving him game time? Why isn't he barely getting any start time? And what has he done to be benched the whole, most of the season and brought on, when you see him brought on, Ryan, in certain matches, you can see how much of a difference he makes. Thank you for joining Beyond the Horizon. Ryan, what do you think about the Martinelli situation at our club? Do you think he should leave in the summer and save his talents, take his talent elsewhere before Arteta ruins him? And secondly, I want to ask you, do you think Arteta will be gone tomorrow or at the end of the season, walk away, if we get knocked out of Europe tonight?
Well, I think you need to get Arteta out as well.
Yeah.
Because we had our manager, Neil Harris, Vincent Tan's keeping him, and we're losing every single game. We lost 5 matches in a row under Harris, and Vincent Tan thinks he's doing a good job.
Yeah, and he thinks he's playing the right players too, right? That's a big problem you guys have with formation as well. Good afternoon, Diego. But go on, Ryan. Sorry to interrupt you, mate.
That's right. So we waited. How many matches did we lose? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5
in a row, right?
I know. It's not 0. Oh, yeah, 0. No, he's not doing a good job, and that's the same as Arteta.
And I know when you guys beat Swansea in the derby, you developed a lot of confidence, but then where did that confidence go when you lose 5 games in a row? Thank you for joining Talk Menu. No, Randy, I just came back from outside. You joker. Ryan, how do you develop that kind of sort of confidence to still continue supporting your club? And I know we backed them through thick and thin, the ups and the lows. How do you still continue to back Cardiff? You're very young and, you're Cardiff through and through, but 5 losses in a row. And you're thinking, what is this manager doing wrong? And what does he need to step up his game?
You're sacked.
Yeah, and you guys bottled the playoffs too. So that's another thing. Bottling playoffs, it's not acceptable. And who do you guys think? Have you guys gotten a new manager?
Yeah, Mick McCarthy.
Oh, Mick McCarthy. That's a good shout. What do you think the changes are going to be made? Are you guys going to sign any new players upcoming?
Well, we're going for 2 30-goal strikers in League One. So we don't have the funds. But let me tell you something about Neil Harris. He would be the best phony salesman ever. Even though you saw the worst performance with your own eyes, he can convince you that
we're making progress. Well. Yeah. And you know who that sounds like, Ryan? You know who that sounds like? That sounds like Arteta when he puts on the suit and tie after losing 13. We've not kept a clean sheet for about 13, 14 games now. And, wearing a suit and tie and coming on screen for that long and saying, oh, we're making progress. It's not progress when a lot of our talents are left sitting out. Another thing, Ryan, I just thought about was Balogun signed a new contract, and Balogun was not played against Newcastle. Although we won against Newcastle, thank you for joining, Daniel. I hope you're well, mate. I'm looking forward to the lineup reaction. Not long to go now. But in terms of the Balogun situation, I thought Balogun would actually start against Newcastle, and it was right after they announced that he signed a new contract, and Balogun didn't start. And it's like, okay, we signed this guy a new contract, we got him a new deal, and we're calling him like the second coming of Jesus Christ, yet he's not on the pitch, nowhere to be found, on the bench, and not even played. And thank you for joining, Gary. I'm just going to add a couple of people who are waiting to have their say and have their voice. So I'm bringing in a Man United fan for the very first time on my channel. I might regret this, but thank you for joining, Reese. I hope you're well. And you guys have a big game today. I think it's already done and dusted. You guys have secured your place in the final. And if Roma can do a comeback, I would be very happy to see you guys crying and humiliated. But I don't think that's going to happen, mate. And what do you guys think for tonight? Confident?
I reckon so. I reckon the final's already wrapped up. In fact, you may as well just give us the trophy. Just telling you now.
Okay, here we go. He's about to ask to get kicked off.
What I will say, right, is I will be keeping an eye on the Arsenal game tonight. I don't know if Arsenal are going to go through. It depends on who Arteta chooses for his lineup. That's all I'm saying. It's his lineup that differs. But you only need to win 1-0. You only need to win 1-0 to go. Exactly.
But this is Arsenal. Even that one goal, we can set ourselves up for failure, especially with considering the lineup.
That's true.
As an opposition, are you guys confident in your lineup tonight? And again, with 3 games to play in game week 35, with only 2 days of rest, do you think there's going to be a lineup rotation happening with Bruno possibly being benched in certain games? And do you think sort of Cavani will get more game time? Fred will play 90 minutes, hopefully, because I don't want to see you guys win tonight, but I think you guys have wrapped it up.
Yeah. I agree with you there. A
lot of volleyball rotation, right?
I don't know about a lot of rotation. He's not particularly known for it. The most he makes for rotations, like 3 changes, unless it's an FA Cup game against Peterborough, and he'll make like 9 changes that doesn't work. But there is a good chance he is going to have to rotate, but
and he knows how big. Ollie knows how big this competition is for you guys, the same way it is for us. I mean, you guys have not given up in the Premier League. It's much easier to find United in the Premier League than it is to find Arsenal. Let's be honest here. In terms of the Arsenal fans on here, Wilson, are you confident for tonight?
Yeah, I'm quite confident for tonight. I think we should win this game.
That's the first time I'm hearing that.
Hang on a minute. Hang on.
Jordan, as a Liverpool fan, you guys got knocked out of the UCL by Real Madrid, and yesterday we got slapped by Chelsea. And I know there's a Chelsea fan watching in the chat. Jordan, what are your hopes for your game against Southampton in game week 35? What's your score prediction?
I predict a 2-0 win for my team.
2-0 Liverpool. Yeah, you always backing your club. I know, even when we play crap, we still are Arsenal through and through, and it's the same with all of you guys on the panel. I know, Ryan, you said your club lost 5 games in a row, but you'll still bleed blue. Wilson, tonight, it's do or die for us. Do you reckon Arteta will walk if we get knocked out of Europe? And God help me when I say it. I don't want to see Arsenal in the Europa League conference.
Oh, no. To be honest with you, right, this is a massive game for Arsenal and Arteta. He really messed things up in the first leg.
Yeah.
He should have put his strongest team out.
Yeah,
why
playing a false
nine
and
in
testing
the
a formation,
semi-final?
Testing a new formation in a semi-final. And I know, Reese, you mentioned, you always banter us, but at that point, I was like, we're bantering ourselves at this point by testing a formation and playing Pep's formation from the night before the match. I don't know if he got advice from Pep, but he's clearly learned nothing from Pep Guardiola.
Man. He messed
playing
things
that
up.
false 9 really didn't work. Not bringing on a striker till the last 5 minutes of the game. And you know what? Was that even a penalty? Was that even a penalty for us to get that goal? No, I don't think so.
We were lucky.
We were lucky.
We were lucky to get that pen. Let's be honest.
Sorry, I can only have 6 people on the panel, so I will try to rotate as I can. Evan, thank you for joining, mate. Are you confident for tonight? And I'm just gonna get everybody's score prediction on the panel as well. Randy, you have an agenda against Pep Guardiola. You always call them Man City cheats, but I think Pep will lift the UCL. I really think so. Really, Reece?
I agree with that.
You think Chelsea will win?
No,
over my dead body will I see Man City lift the Champions League.
Yeah, I know the rivalries are
Man
strong.
City will win it.
I'm actually a quarter English. I am.
Oh wow, okay.
Because my grandfather was born in Fulham, but he supported Chelsea, but they're basically right next to each other. So
who do you think is gonna win the UCL, Ryan?
Oh, Chelsea! Come on, Chelsea!
Wow.
No, man, it's not gonna happen. It's not.
But you know what? I gotta give it to Tactic Tuchel. Tactic Tuchel has got them into a UCL semi-final, but we can't even qualify into the UCL. And even if we got there, we would be battered by, bigger teams. I don't think our club right now has the standard to, sad to say it, I don't think we have that standard to play UCL
We're a million
football.
miles away.
Yeah.
We're a million miles away.
And some people
We're
are saying
shambles.
we'll rebuild in 3 years. I don't think that's the case. I can't see that happening in 3 years of us rebuilding. Revenite says Thomas Tuchel is going to body Pep. Tactic Tuchel, hands down to him. Yesterday, he did batter us.
Yeah.
I just want to give a massive, massive shout out to Conte. He bossed us, battered us, and absolutely humiliated Madrid fans like me. Reece, you're right. If Chelsea lifts the trophy, hats off to them. I really don't want to see it. I can't tolerate Chelsea fans.
Same here. I want Man City to win it. I want Man City to win it.
And for the sake of Aguero,
they got a better team.
For the sake of Aguero, the talent, Pep's masterclass. But you know what? Tuchel is the underdog. And when Unai Emery got sacked, some of us actually wanted him, as our new manager. Some of us thought, hey, he can do a good job. And there was a lot of us who said he's incompetent and that, the job's too big for him. But Reece, you're right. Tactic Tuchel has proven a lot of his haters wrong. And yesterday just shows, Money Mace on the ball, playing at that club since 5-6 years old. I think it was 6 years old. He's played for Chelsea, scoring the goal that got them to the final. They didn't even need Pulisic on the pitch. The way they bossed the midfield, the way they bossed the midfield and bodied our attacking. We didn't have an attacking defense. We didn't bring on Valverde on the pitch in time. Our formation was wrong. It just collapsed, and it seems like none of our players cared. And I'm saying this right now. Hazard and Ramos were absolutely embarrassing on the pitch.
Shocking.
Yes.
That was shocking. That was shocking yesterday.
Hazard didn't show any passion on that pitch.
Exactly. He didn't show any passion or ambition.
And then after the game, he's laughing with his former teammate.
Yeah.
What was he doing?
And a lot of people were saying Agent Hazard because we know he's leaving in the summer. I just want to pull up a comment Nitish brought here. I don't know if I can show it on the panel. He said Arteta will do it tonight like he does his one. Nitish, you absolute joker.
Only one of those comments seems accurate, to be honest.
Daniel says I'm a secret Spurs fan. Mourinho got a job before Spurs got a new manager. Mourinho's bigger than Spurs. Hats off to him, but I think Mourinho's washed up. I didn't want him anywhere near Arsenal. Maybe I'll get crucified for my comments today, but I didn't want Mourinho on the job. Now, Wilson, as Arsenal fan on the panel, and Reece and Ryan, I want to ask you guys, if in the situation we get, knocked out of Europe tonight, God help us, but do you think Arteta will walk, or do you think the way our club is and the way the board is that he'll be given another season?
If I'm going to be honest with you, right, if we get knocked out of Europe, it's going to be very difficult. and you know that I've been a massive Arteta fan. I'm up to a point where he
You've
needs
had
to
enough.
fix up,
Yeah.
because if he doesn't, it's going to be difficult for him to stay on. But
Yeah.
the way our club is, they're not going to do it. And
This is another thing. Sorry to interrupt. Sarri has been linked with the Arsenal job. Sarri was a good manager, but the way he dealt with players and the way he fought with players, I didn't like. And I think we should go after Rafa Benitez. I know Benitez might not come to Arsenal. There's also Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers is a very good manager.
Brendan Rodgers will stay at Leicester.
You really think so?
There's no way Brendan Rodgers will leave Leicester.
A lot of people are saying that, and especially with the players they have now. Nacho, Vardy, Barnes, Maddison. I don't see them leaving. Leicester have built a very strong team. And you know what? In terms of team depth, I think they're above us and ahead of us. Reese, I do want to ask you something about Ollie. What do you think about the formation that's going to be played tonight? And for you guys, it doesn't matter anyway. You're 6-2 up. I think Roma might turn it around, but it's a big ask at this point. It's a disgrace that you guys are making it to the final, as you know, the rivalry that we have. But hats off to Ollie for that. If it's an all-English final in the UCL and the UEL, it's going to be interesting because it's going to be the hype around Arsenal-Man United finals as it was before, back when we were top table, of course. Reese, what do you think Ollie's going to do with the formation tonight?
I don't actually see any tactical change. I think it's just going to be the exact same system, same style. It's just going to be different personnel. I think there's going to be at least 4 or 5 changes in certain positions. I expect Van de Bench to actually start.
Wow.
I think he's going to start. I think Pogba and Bruno are going to start as well, which I think is absolutely pointless. I'll be surprised if Luke Shaw plays. He needs a rest because the fact that we're now playing 4 or 5 games in 7 days, like we're going to be stretched. Fantastic. We can take that. But in terms of, I was listening to your comments there about Arsenal, about what they need to do in terms of like rebuilding. Do they stick with Arteta? You could also apply the same circumstance to Man United. Even if we finish second and we don't win the Europa League,
back Ollie. Yeah.
You still got to ask those questions. Yeah, like those questions need to be asked. I've said numerous times, and
this is a big comment.
You know
Why would Brendan Rodgers leave Leicester, who are going to be in the Champions League? That's a fact.
Exactly.
Because they're going to drop out. Because they're going to drop out of the Champions League after we beat them.
For a team that are going to get Champions League, because unless you win the Europa League,
and you know what they do? They do deserve Champions League football because of their team. Their squad is miles above us. And I don't want to be so harsh on Arsenal, but I have to be realistic.
Whoa. Hold up. I wouldn't rule Arsenal out lightly just yet. If we turn up tonight, we've got a chance. I wouldn't, but the problem with Arsenal is that we're bloody inconsistent.
And you don't know which Arsenal is going to turn up tonight. Is it going to be the Arsenal from Baku where we got slapped in the FA Cup, or is it going to be an Arsenal that actually turns up for once? And you know, everybody's holding their hearts.
You're 2-1 down. Europa League semi-final. You struggle. Although to be fair, Slavia Prague, you smacked them after drawing 1-1.
Yeah, we did.
But if you can do that today, but again, if you face Man United, I think you'd lose, even if you have a good track record.
Oh wow!
You've won 1-0 against them, and you've drew 0. When United have won the Europa League before, they've won the Champions League. They're going to get Champions League. I just think so.
HJ90. I want to ask you guys a question. Big up GGTV. Hope you're well, mate, and I hope you're taking care of your health. It's really nice to see you doing videos again. And take care of your health, mate.
The difference here, and I'll quickly make this known. Right, this is the difference between Arteta and Solskjaer when it comes to European football. Solskjaer, yes, he's not a great manager. He's got European experience. Arteta's got very little European experience. That's why I would favour United over Arsenal, even if I was a neutral fan. but I'm not. I support the team that's actually going to win the thing. I'm just saying, if it's based on, if you look at it, it's experience that's going to get it over the line. So Arteta's going to have to hope he either gets it correct tonight, or Emery could end up winning a fourth Europa League. He could win it as well. I'm not ruling out Villarreal either.
I want to ask you guys something. With Villarreal, the way they turned up in the first leg, do you think that was their best, or do you think we just sat back and our formation, the false nine, from the start to the end, wrong substitutions, late substitutions, everything was the whole cocktail of effed up choices?
For me, Arteta got the lineup, his tactics totally wrong. That played into Villarreal's hands. But the fact is, when it comes to Emery, they were dominant in the first half. In the second half, they completely sat back. And that just allowed us to put more impetus on the game. And we got a lucky penalty for that. They should have killed us off in the first place.
From a Liverpool fan, Jonathan. He says, as a Liverpool fan, I want Arsenal to win that final if they get there. But I see United smacking Arsenal. You guys got away with too many performances against them. They have a way better squad than yours. In terms of the squad, Wilson, we have to accept. And there's another United fan on the panel, Talk Menu. Big up yourself. Thank you for joining. A much better squad than ours. Do you agree with that, Wilson?
Yeah, I agree.
Greenwood, Martial, Rashford, Cavani, Bruno.
Especially in the defence. So I know a lot of people like to diss Man U's defence, but Maguire's actually decent, to be honest with you. Shaw's good, Aaron Wan-Bissaka's good, Dean Henderson or De Gea are good. De Gea just sometimes make a few silly mistakes. That's why I think they're better in the defensive terms of views.
This comment ain't wrong in terms of, their squad depth. But Wilson, you gotta accept that this summer is a big transfer window for us. And we no longer can afford to make, last day signings where everybody's gone and it's just we get some dead player who nobody knows. And the saying goes, it's the same old Arsenal for a reason. What do you think our main signings are going to be? A right back, a backup left back, a new striker? What do you think the hopes are? And just touch upon that, you guys. If you feel, even the rival fans on here, let me know your thoughts.
You need a new defense coming from a rival's perspective. You need a whole new defense.
I agree.
For sure.
That includes left back, by the way.
Leno's a decent keeper, but I don't think your front two, your two centre backs are good enough. I just don't think they're better.
Leno is a good keeper, but I think he doesn't get enough stick. He's costed us some games.
Yeah, exactly. But again, sometimes you have to blame the defence, I think. Sometimes you have to have a guy at the defence, because sometimes Leno just shouldn't be in those situations.
It's what's put in front of him, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the defence.
If you've got a defence led by David Luiz, you don't deserve to win trophies.
Fair enough.
Just saying. If you've got a defence led by David Luiz winning trophies, frankly, that should not be allowed to happen.
Here's another comment. The Thomas Partey signing. Do you guys think that was overhyped? First question. Secondly, do you think he has lived up to the hype? And first, I want to go to Talk Menu. As a rival fan, let me know your thoughts on, was the Thomas Partey, it's party time signing a hype, or did he live up to that hype? And keep in mind the injuries that he has had when wearing that Arsenal shirt.
Listen, when you're a player like Thomas Partey, right, you're going to a big club like Arsenal, because they are a big club, we know that. Right, you need a quality manager. If you're going to get the best out of Thomas Partey, you need a quality manager. You ain't got it, right? And his teammates are not feeling it. So how's he going to feel it if his teammates aren't? He can't carry that team on his own. So for me, when you get another manager in, which you will do in the summer, because there's no way Arteta's staying, whether it's Sarri, whether it's bro, man, he ain't staying, man.
Wait, let him finish.
Right, whatever manager it is, he's going to come in there, and they'll be the first player they're going to be looking at is Thomas Partey, because he's going to be such a big player for Arsenal. If the right manager comes in and he's happy to stay and be a part of that new squad that's going to get built, he's going to be a big player for Arsenal.
So you think he's failed us so far because of the manager and how he's been played under the manager, sort of rushed back from injury, brought back into injury again.
If I can add in, so he fits better under Simeone's tactics. He's more of a defensive player.
Yes, that's a fact.
Yeah, but listen, we all play.
That's why you get beneath.
So we all understand that the relationship between a manager and what he's trying to get you to do, it has to be right with your own thoughts and on what you think, how you should be playing yourself. If it ain't, then how can you give 100%? You know what I mean? You just can't.
And I do want to give credit to this comment here. David Luiz does have a mistake in him, but he's a proven winner. A winner might be a big word. I've slated the heck out of David Luiz in the beginning. I really didn't like him. I didn't rate him at all, and I'll be straight up honest. I say it how it is. A lot of you guys know that by now. But the fact that without David Luiz, we play even worse, we know how much of a difference. And I don't know if this is Arsenal fans accepting mediocrity, but you know what? Without David Luiz, we are woeful, absolutely woeful and shambolic.
I agree.
David Luiz is a winner. David Luiz is. I'll admit that he's won trophies. He's won the Premier League, I think, with Chelsea. He's a good player, but he makes those mistakes. He's constantly when he makes a mistake, he's not a small mistake. He's not a mistake he can recover from. It's a mistake that leads to a goal. It's not something that it's just a yellow card. It's either a red or it leads to a goal as a penalty.
That comment, a mistake that leads to a goal. Ryan, I know you're still on here. Danny Ceballos, for the love of God, cannot play tonight. I think a lot of mistakes in our game and our performances on the pitch have come from that player. And I think he's much better at Real Madrid. And I'm a Real Madrid fan. I think he's much better at a Spanish club than anywhere near these English clubs, because he has been nothing but a liability to us. And I think tonight, if he didn't have a red card, Arteta would have started him. And it's really embarrassing. Bobs, what's wrong with Ceballos? Ceballos makes the same bloody mistakes every single time, doesn't learn from them, and it's mistakes that leads to goals. He is absolute woeful. Ryan, what are your thoughts on Danny Ceballos?
He's not Arsenal. Even though he's under a Spanish manager, it's a crap Spanish manager. It's a fraud Spanish manager. And
that's a big word. That might be a bit too harsh. But no, let him finish.
But Ceballos, if he didn't get a red card, he would have started. It wasn't a red card, in all fairness, but that he's probably just came on only because he scored that goal in the FA Cup in the last second. Like, maybe for depth, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe because
Daniel, he can't play. He's suspended. But I was saying, assuming he didn't get the red card, Arteta would have started him today, hands down. We already know the same.
This isn't a Premier League level player. He's a good player. So I think if he was in a worse league, he'd be a good player. Just isn't a Premier League quality. It's the best league in the world. I admit, as a PSG fan, the Premier League is the best league in the world, and some players just aren't fit for it.
Talk menu. What are your thoughts, mate?
You got to remember here that you know what, you're going to get the manager in first. You ain't going to change your squad up and then bring a manager in. Don't work like that. You're going to bring a manager in first, and that manager's going to look at the squad, and he's going to do what Thomas Tuchel's doing with Chelsea. He's going to say, right, okay, hold on a minute. He'll already once the conversations start happening around whoever the manager's going to be, they will already know and understand a lot of that squad at Arsenal. Because all the managers see Arsenal play. A lot of managers will have an opinion on Arsenal, what they're doing wrong, where they need to improve, etc. Which players are good enough, which ones aren't. So a new manager come in, and for all we know, if let's say Sarri comes in, all these players that all you Arsenal fans are saying he's not good enough, another manager can come in and turn it all around
and fix the players up, possibly. But
how many times have we seen that happen? We've seen it happen loads of times.
We've also seen the other part where players have declined under certain managers. Let's look at,
nothing's guaranteed, though, Mel, is it? Let's have it right.
Yeah, Pogba. Oh, there's one. Pogba, Fred. I know, Reese, you can't stand Fred. Not picking on him in any way, but it's a fact. Under different managers.
Wait a minute. Fred does a job for United, right? I know he's not the greatest player that we've got, but Fred does a job. He does a job for us. He could improve his passing. There's no doubt about that.
That's what I mean in terms of the passing.
You know, but if that's something that he's just not got in his locker, you know, and he's more breaking play up and that kind of stuff, and being more kind of. If for me, I think Fred would be much better suited to playing as a number 6. I think he'd do a great job at a number 6, but I don't think Ollie would ever trust him to do that role. I could see a number 6 in Fred all day long.
Wow, that's interesting. I don't think he's ever played a number 6 role too. So, I want to go back to this comment. The same way fans were hyping up Odegaard. The kid is nothing special. 1 or 2 good games.
He's good.
Odegaard has a lot of talent. However, would you guys rather bring back the players we gave out on loan? So Joe Willock, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Would you take them back? You wouldn't take back Joe Willock at Arsenal? Really? Wow. Guendouzi? Wow.
Hell no.
Beauregard is a good player. I probably mispronounced that, but he's a good player.
Odegaard
I mean, realistically,
is a good player,
he's playing in a top
player.
club, and he's playing in the best league in the world. He's played in the Spanish league with Real Sociedad, struggled to get games on Real Madrid. He's signed on from loan in January. He's had he might not get the best game every now and then, but again,
this is a big stretch. This comparison of Odegaard to Bruno, I think that's no. They're two different. They're 2 different players and the different style of play. That's a
one's
big
26
worry.
and one's like 22. That's the difference.
Yeah. But I don't think Bruno is miles ahead of Odegaard. And I'm not a United fan before you guys go after me for that. But Bruno is miles ahead of Odegaard.
Yeah,
and Guendouzi, I would take back at Arsenal. Personally, I would take Guendouzi back. Anitish says the same. Guendouzi, I would take back. Joe Willock, no. So you'll keep him at, I think Newcastle want to keep him. John says Guendouzi, maybe.
Nah, man.
Nitish says Odegaard doesn't dive, and
Fair enough.
Clip says Willock is sick. Joe Willock at Newcastle has improved a lot for their team. And at St. James Park this weekend, we saw how Newcastle crumbled apart without Joe Willock. I think, is Newcastle suiting his style of play? Is it the team that they have with, St. Maximum, Wilson? Is it the team that he's playing for, or is it the manager he's under? Arteta has not played a lot of our youngsters, and like Unai Emery has. Unai Emery has given more time for our youngsters and our youth, and more potential on the pitch. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I've got something to. I've got something. I've got something to say on that, because I feel
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I think he's singing or something, but I'll unmute him if he messages. Wilson, what are your thoughts, mate?
In terms of Joe Willock, I feel like the team he's playing in, it suits him. The style suits him.
Yeah.
And the confidence as well. But would I take him back? Probably not. But as far as Guendouzi goes, hell no. Don't get me wrong, he's got a lot of talent, but his attitude stinks. Remember what happened against Brighton a long time ago? I can't stand him.
The Mopai incident. Yeah. A lot of people wrote him off from the Mopai incident because of the attitude he had on the pitch. But keep in mind, he's a youngster, and, it's happened before in our brightest players too.
Without attitude.
Without that ego and that attitude, he'd be a much different player on the pitch, I feel. And I think he has learned, and I hope he has learned from that mistake, that Mopai incident. Maybe that kind of, those kind of experiences are what sort of shape a player and, get them to be, better players on the pitch. But Randy says here, Guendouzi is a headless chicken. Guendouzi Passion FC. No, I don't. I'm not really hyping him up so much, but I am saying he does have talent. but that attitude he had and what the attitude he's done, with the Arsenal shirt, it doesn't sing Arsenal for me. That being said, he does have a lot of talent and a lot of potential. I do want to go on another player, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. What were your thoughts? Wow, Wilson, you're already shaking your head. I'm not happy to hear this. Draxler, I'll start with you first, and Ryan. Ainsley Maitland-Niles in an Arsenal shirt. What are your thoughts?
To be honest, I think he's all right. I think he's obviously 18, so he's obviously got a lot to learn. And I think playing him along with Saka and quite a young team, Arsenal, I think he's good for him. I think he's a decent player, but that's about it, really.
Yeah, and I think he's better off playing in midfield, but that might be a stretch. Is he bang average? Above average? I think bang
Above
average for
I
me.
think. It's like 18 though, isn't he?
No, he's 22.
Oh, no, he's 22. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought he was 18. I must be thinking of someone else then. Yeah, 22. I suppose he's all right. Ain't the best in the world, but again, you're a mid-table club now. You ain't getting Champions League. You're not in a Champions League place unless you win the Europa League. I'm just going to point that out there. So maybe at the age of 22,
it's a fact. Tonight really has our hopes, and we're 9th in the league, guys. Don't forget, we've given up on the Premier League. We have no chance at securing top 6 even. I think in the Premier League we'll finish around 8th or 9th.
I reckon 10th.
8th or 9th for me. 8th or 9th.
What do you guys think on the panel where Arsenal will finish at the end of the season? And secondly, what kind of key names, realistic key names, do you think we will sign in the summer transfer window? Talkman, I'll start with you first and work my way around.
I think you're going to end up in. Let me just have a quick peek at where you are right now. In the table, you are 9th. There's 4 games to go. Don't know what those games are, but it's not looking great. I'd say you're probably going to stick to where you are. 8th, 9th, or 10th. In terms of players, crikey. Again, we've got to look at the possibility of which manager is going to be coming in. And, it could be players from France, it could be players from Italy. I don't think you'll be getting any players from the Premier League. That's for sure. But you know what? Does it really matter? Your biggest need right now is a manager. Simple as that. If you can't read a book, it doesn't matter what book you put in front of somebody. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter, does it? So, manager is key for you right now.
Arteta. When he came to Arsenal, I thought, all right, let's give this man a chance. And Wilson, you've been a supporter of him, at the start. But now I think you've just had enough. Draxler, when Arteta signed for Arsenal, and with the summer transfer window we have coming up, winning the Europa League will give us a big boost, to get players and get rid of the rest of the deadwood we have. Getting rid of, I know Danny Ceballos wants to leave. Leno wants to leave, which is pissing me off because we could have kept Martinez, who has hold on to a lot more clean sheets. I think we should go after Basuma, Max Aarons. Yeah. Max Aarons is now being linked to Everton, I believe. I did see some transfer rumors about that, but again, it's too early right now. It could be paper top. For all transfer news, the transfer guru, as we know, Fabrizio Romano, massive respects to him and what he does. He's been spot on most transfers he has yet to fail. Here's another one. Get Ceballos gone? Yeah, he's officially gone in the summer. Hector Bellerin, officially gone in the summer, walking away, and I'll drop him off at the airport. Mohamed El Neni, that's a player I'd also get rid of. We can improve much better. In terms of a striker, Aubameyang to go or Lacazette?
Aubameyang. Lacazette's 28. No, I'd say Aubameyang. Aubameyang's like 34 now. Let's be realistic.
He's on a big contract.
He's on a big contract, and I don't understand that. Maybe a few teams might not want to buy him.
Wow,
that's fair enough. But so if you can get rid of him, I think it'd be good because Lacazette, he's going to be 29 or 28 or however old.
It's getting old.
Yeah, exactly. If you get in a young striker, Lacazette has proved himself a few times. Maybe not as consistent, as you would like him to be. But if you're getting a striker who can be consistent, and Lacazette will be there when you need him, is what I think you need to do.
Aubameyang should go. Bring in even Tony. That's a good shout.
No.
Aubameyang's wages are crazy. I agree. And I think, ever since he signed the new contract, he has done good for us, but most of the time I've been calling Ghostbusters looking for him because he doesn't turn up in big games.
He turns into Travis Scott. That's what happens.
Travis Scott can do a better job rapping. And I think Aubameyang, a lot of, pressure has been on his shoulders. He hasn't lived up to the hype. And £350,000 a week is ridiculous. Massive wages, and he hasn't lived up to that. Lacazette has impressed me a lot. Lacazette has turned up in big games where Aubameyang hasn't.
Reminds me of Drogba. When Drogba is in a big game, he'll show up. That's what Lacazette sometimes reminds me of. If you need him in a big game, Lacazette will be there sometimes. Sometimes he won't, but...
This is a good comment. You can't rebuild your whole squad in one summer. Yeah, and that's the reason why we still have dead
Tell
blood at
that
our
to Leeds
club.
fans.
Like
Leeds
Man United.
fans.
So Man United want to be winning league titles. They're still in the Europa League after like 3 years of being in the Europa League.
Ryan, I do want to ask you something. As an opposition fan, someone who is not in the Premier League, your club isn't in the Premier League football. Who do you think our main 3 signings should be?
Well, you need to focus on the left back for that backup for Tierney, and you definitely should get rid of Kolasinac because he's never going to be a good backup, really, in my opinion. Maybe a winger. Maybe.
I too want Max Aarons.
A decent midfielder. You just need to work on your defense is the main part.
Yeah, our defense and our midfield needs work. We need a new right back.
I never understood why you let go of Martinez. Probably because he wasn't going to take game time.
It was for the Thomas Partey deal. So I assume what happened was, and Nitish, if you're still watching, or Jonathan, correct me if I'm wrong. I think what happened was last minute, the Houssam Arour deal from Lyon did not work. And last minute, it was, party time, Thomas Partey. In order to get enough funds for Thomas Partey, I believe Martinez was, the last shot to go. And we thought Leno would stay, and now look, Leno can't even catch a cold. Leno can't even catch a cold, and now Leno wants to leave. I'm being very harsh on him, but I think, if that was any other goalkeeper on there like Kepa, and I know Leno has saved up in games and done a lot of good saves for us, but I think we have to spend money on a new keeper, or else Matt Ryan needs to get more game time. And this goes back to Arteta for not playing Matt Ryan in the Premier League games to start with. Matt Ryan showed up for the Newcastle game, and look how different that was. Leno is dreaming of a Bayern Munich move. Wow, Bucks. That's funny. I just want to say, Leicester Till I Die TV, Chris, thank you for tuning in. If there's any Foxes fans in the chat or any football fans in general, please do check out Leicester Till I Die TV. They do really great football podcasts. I'm not one to shout out channels, but that's a really good channel that I like to go on and support. Some of you guys on the panel already know them, Chris, Brad, and Josh. Massive respects to you all, and thank you for tuning in. With your earlier comment, Chris, yes, I don't tell people when I'm going live. Some of you guys already know. I haven't even told you guys about my channel, but some of you guys have found me. I just go live whenever I feel like it, and people who join, I include them in the discussion, and we go from there. So Randy's saying this about Leno, and Randy's really his worst critic. Randy says he's overrated, overhyped. He's an overrated, overhyped keeper. Reese, if we're going after a new keeper, considering, if we're not going to play Matt Ryan, who would you think we would get? Same question for Talkman too.
For Arsenal? I think if Arsenal need a goalkeeper, I think they need someone a bit more experience and someone who actually backs it up, something Leno can't do. I think if you want a goalkeeper, either you re-sign Emi Martinez or take a punt, go for Nick Pope.
Yeah.
Pope is a really good keeper. He is brilliant.
Yeah.
The other thing, here's another point that, we've seen a lot of Leno playing out from the back. It hasn't worked for us, and it's costed us a lot of, our clean sheets.
You can't even do it properly.
No, it's true. I do want to. Wow, I've been rambling for an hour.
This is how good Leno is a goalkeeper, right? My brother is 15 and he's in a wheelchair and he can play out from the back better than Bernd Leno.
Oh my God, Reese. We're about to get crucified for saying that. Martinez will be worth double the price. That's a big ask, Randy. Double the price to pay for Martinez. We can't
Arsenal shouldn't have let him go.
Yeah, in the first place, we shouldn't have let him go.
Yeah, exactly. He played against Man City, won them the game, and then he played against Chelsea, won them the game. What more evidence do you want?
Beyond the post, Nitish, this is the first time in a long time I'm going to agree with you. I think Matt Ryan deserves a step up into being our number one goalkeeper. I think he has a lot more potential, and he's shown us that, when we trust him and when we put him in goalkeeper, he has yet to prove us wrong. This could age like milk. However, I'm going to stick by that. So, Nitish, thank you for that comment. It's the first time in a long time that I'm agreeing with you on your football opinion. But I know you're still strongly Arteta in. Quick Clips says, you're not going to be in Europa League or Champions League. Who's going to join you? That's true. Who would want to play for a mid-table club?
I wouldn't
De
get
Gea
so
and
ahead
Dean
of that.
Henderson are clear of both. We have a chance tonight. Quick Clips, don't write us off just yet.
But that's true.
Being all the United fans, some of you guys on here really don't want to see us win. Some of you guys as Liverpool fans want us to win tonight. It's going to be interesting to see, do we turn up tonight? And you know what? Let's face it. It all depends on our lineup and what Arsenal turns up today.
Can I say something? No one will realistically want to join you, even from a smaller club. And you want to know why? Unless you win the Europa League, you haven't showed any ambition of getting Champions League or Europa League. And let me take to a point. Man United and you were both in a similar position near the start of the season. Man United are now in second. That sink in. I think it's just proof that Arteta needs to be sacked. Even if he wins the Europa League, you cannot be in 10th place as a team which wants to get Champions League. Arsene Wenger gets 6th.
I too agree.
Emery gets 5th and they get sacked.
Although it's harsh, I think even if we win Europa League, Arteta should walk because we are not going to be improving.
So let me talk about Frank Lampard, yeah? Frank Lampard was drifting outside the Europa League zone. Look at what Tuchel's brought back to them. They're challenging for the top 4 and they're in Europa League final, Champions League final. What more do you want? You have to take that risk sometimes.
And Chelsea
Lampard wasn't sacked for results though. He was sacked for his comments on the Chelsea Youth Academy.
Yeah, that's a fact. But Tactic Tuchel has done a lot more than Arteta ever will do at Arsenal. And, I hate to be so harsh on him, but I think the guy's CV doesn't cut it in Premier League football. I really think he hasn't learned anything from Guardiola. Yeah, Wilson, I hate to, it's like a stab in the heart for you.
So I don't care if he was an assistant manager for Pep. You need experience. If you look at Ollie, he's managed Cardiff. He gets them relegated. That doesn't matter. He carried managing at Mould for like a few years, and he goes to Man United. Arteta's only job experience, I believe, is being an assistant manager before joining Arsenal.
That's correct.
I do want to touch upon a comment from a Foxes fan, Chris. He says, to be honest, I don't think I want you in the final, as if you win that you may nick our Champions League spot, and you're 10th in the league. Yeah, I know. Being 10th in the league and getting Champions League football, that's a big step up, but is that enough to keep Arteta his job? No, that's a no for me, Wilson. And I know it's a stab in the heart to you.
And if you're struggling in the league so much, how do you think you're going to perform in the Champions League?
In Champions League football, exactly. We'll just get battered in Champions League football.
You probably might not even finish third in the group stage at this rate. If
it's an insult to the it's an insult to the Champions League. If the team that wins the Europa League is a 10th placed English club, it's an insult to the Champions League.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Wow.
Champions
League
football is a really big, a really big performance. There's big clubs in there, and being 10th in the league with a manager with, no experience on what formation to make. And I'm gonna say this, and I've said this before. The man can't even make a best 11, even if it was handed to him.
He's an overrated manager.
No, Wilson, you gotta accept that, though, mate.
Yeah, no. Put it this
give
way.
Arteta a few years. If you were to give Arteta a few years in a managing job in a different team and he could do well, then maybe he should be given the Arsenal job. But at the moment, he ain't had any managing experience.
It'd be
a bit like Man City sacking Guardiola and getting a man from the pub to be their manager. That's what it is basically.
Spot on.
I just want to go through some comments here. Sorry, they're coming in really quick and fast.
Look who done it. Look who done it smart. Look at Everton. Look at Everton. They had Duncan Ferguson for 4 games just to steady the ship, balance them out.
Got rid of him.
But he was asked for the permanent job, and he said no. He said, I would rather work under the next manager and get experience. They brought in the best manager in modern football. They brought in Ancelotti.
So as of now, it's 5 p.m. 12 p.m. for me in the afternoon. 3 hours to go before it's do or die for us. I'm really nervous to see that lineup. The Blind Gooner, Daniel, thank you so much for joining. Guys, do check out the Blind Gooner if you haven't already. He has been on AFTV, if you guys don't already know, and he's currently on the road to 2,000 subscribers. Massive respects to everyone who has joined the chat today. I'm going to get through some comments here. The Blind Gunner says, nobody expects us to compete in the Champions League to win it, but having the financial stability will help us improve the squad. That's a fact. Okay.
But my also adds, Arsenal are a historic team. They have history. They've got to the Champions League final. So if you want to get knocked out in the group stage, that's fine. But I don't think you should. Even if it gives you financial backing, you want to get at least to the round 16. You want to make it out the group stage. You're an historic team.
I do want to add something in here.
One second. Let me counteract your point on that. Just ask Chelsea what it means to get to the Champions League group stages after winning the whole tournament. That's another thing. It depends on who you've got. It's not just as the manager. I think people need to remember this. The manager can only set the team up as what's on the pitch. They need to react as well. But your manager is still shit.
The Arsenal team isn't that bad.
You need to accept reality. You need to accept that reality.
Because if Arsenal are finishing 6th, 7th, you know what, even 5th. Right, so with the team that they've got, I think Arsenal should be finishing 5th, maximum 8th. But they seem to be going in for 10th.
Yeah, it is, Simpy. Here's a comment. Okay, Bolton are a historic team, but where are they now?
They're not really historic. They're not really historic. They've only won 2 FA Cups.
Preston North End were a historic team. Here we go. All the stats are coming out. I want to ask you, Wilson. I know you will still probably back Arteta, even if he wins tonight. Will you give him time? And if so, how much time will you give the man on the job?
20 days.
If we win tonight, he should be given the time.
Wow.
However, if he loses the final, I'll be done with it.
Just like we do now, Emery.
Literally.
Yeah. It's the final nail in the coffin, right? And today is do or die for us. And I'm nervous as heck to see that lineup. If you guys want to see more of me today, I will be on the Blind Gooner for his lineup reaction. Hopefully I'm not having a meltdown. I have yet to have a drink or two, so I am nervous. I might drink to celebrate or might drink to, cry out my tears with the squad.
Even if you lose tonight, there's no point sacking him right now.
Wait till the end of the season. Exactly.
You're already you're not getting the Europa League anyway, so you may as well just wait till the end of the season.
I think
and see if we can
that's
at least get you into the Europa League.
I've read stuff online, but it might be just paper talk that we were gonna sack him anyway in the end of the season. But you know, tonight is all hopes on the line, all Arsenal fans' lives on the line. You know, I don't know if I'm gonna be hiding tonight if we lose. It's gonna be humiliating. You know,
well, you won't hide from us United fans, I'll tell you that for starters, and you know why. And you know why.
I just wanted to okay, so a leaked lineup is out. Oh, thank you for joining FPL Sparta. I hope you're well. Hopefully you sorted out your double game week 35. Thanks so much for joining and tuning in. So the leaked lineup, quick clip says, is Matt Ryan in goal, Tierney, Murray, Holding and Chambers pairing. Ooh.
Nah.
Thomas Partey,
2-0.
Saka, El Neni. Oh my God. Smith Rowe, Odegaard, and Aubameyang. That better not be true. El Neni is.
If that's your lineup, I'm going 2-0 Villarreal right now.
The Holding and Chambers pairing is awful. I really hope Quick Clips you're just fooling around with me, and this is not actually what's going to be on paper. If it's the Holding and Chambers pairing, I'm going to be very disappointed. I can't really handle that formation, and that pairing is awful. It's not going to work. Randy says that's a fake.
This is why you need in the summer, you need to, like, I don't know where you're going to get the money from, although frankly Arsenal should have the money because you are in fact a loaded club, it's just a load of bollocks that you aren't. There needs to be serious investment in that defence. There needs to be serious investment in that defence if you want to actually get somewhere.
And that's a bigger thing.
He needs to go, I agree.
The Kroenke problem is a much bigger problem than Arteta. You know, for a long time we've been ruled under this greedy Stan Kroenke, and he lives very close to me, but I can't do much. The protest tonight.
I got a question for you, actually.
Yeah, sure.
I got a question for you, Arsenal. I've got a question for you, Arsenal fans and fans. Here's a genuine question. Here's a genuine question. This goes to the chat as well. If to the inevitable that Stan Kroenke sells up, right, and you get if the inevitable Stan Kroenke goes, right, and it's the same for us, we want the Glazers out. But what happens if Arteta actually keeps his job and he ends up succeeding? What's your opinion going to be of him then? Because you never know. You never know if you think about it. There's been managers that have succeeded under shite on it. Exactly. There is that significance. So there's a genuine question to you.
Yeah, I've got something to counter that because I'm not sure if a new ownership would back up Arteta. We're performing so badly.
Yeah, and in the Premier League, we've officially given up. And, you know, I think, you know, teams like Burnley aren't even afraid of us. Bloody Burnley for you know, for crying out loud.
Exactly. A team like Arsenal should not be 10th, 9th and 10th. It's embarrassing. We're a shambles. And teams like Kroenkes go, the same crap will keep happening over and over again.
Randy says, I don't think Arteta keeps his job with a new owner, to be honest. I really don't think so. I think the Kroenkes are just riding on this Arteta, you know, brigade because it's a cheap manager, it's a cheap option, and you know what? They don't need to spend money. And with the greedy way they are, they don't care. Has Stan Kroenke ever watched an Arsenal game is my question.
No.
Secondly, he's too focused on the Rams and the stadium he built, you know, for the NFL. And I'm so glad they lost the Super Bowl because he knows what it should feel like for Arsenal fans to be losing through and through and through, week in and week out. Disgraceful performances on the pitch we've had. And
I bet his watch is just not from the Emirates.
Ryan, I do want to ask you something.
Yeah.
With new owners, how much do you think, and where do you think Arsenal? How far do you think we'd improve under, you know, new owners that we've had really woeful experience with an American owner, the Kroenke family, and the KSC enterprise? Ryan, what do you think can be done under, you know, do you think this Daniel Ek and Thierry Henry, Vieira, that partnership and the Spotify deal, is it just, it's gone beyond Dan Cotte's paper talk that we've linked with before, and it's now, you know, going head to head with Silent Stan? Do you guys think this is something that, we can hold on to and have hopes for?
Well, I would probably trust a former Arsenal player than a guy who owns a Spotify and is just a fan. He knows what will happen under Arteta, and I swear everyone that would come in would sack Arteta straight away if they lost today.
Fact.
So,
I just want to add something. Daniel Ek is actually a massive Arsenal fan. He's been supporting the club ever since he was a kid. And Reese, I know you mentioned this in the group chat. You said if our owners are a fan, they actually know what it's like, to win games, to lose games, the performances that we should put in. Now, another thing I want to ask with this new ownership, the 50 plus 1 deal. What are you guys' thoughts on that? I am 100% for that. 50 plus 1 in a club ownership.
It will not be the same as the German rule. It will not be the same as the German model, and it's because of broadcasting. Like the clubs in England have got far too big value. But what you can do is the smart decision. You go down the golden shares route. You go down the golden shares route in English football. That for me is the correct manner to do it. It's similar to the 50 plus 1 rule, in the sense of it's like a fan's ownership, but it's a fan or select group of fans that have the overall decision to veto decisions by a majority shareholder. So private commercial would have about 49%, but if you've got a golden share, exactly, a golden share individual, they would veto any decision that private commercial's got that can potentially affect the club. So it could be, okay, we're going to bring in X amount of players or X amount of staff. But they could end up effectively going no because there's no benefit to the club. You get rid of that sort of decision, it actually takes the club forward. That's what you need, and that's what
something that moves us forward and keeps us going, and actually competing to win silverware would be nice. Gunnar Gamer TV mentioned something really important. Sir Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger, in his late years, declined under our club. Now, it's been rumored that Arsene Wenger is going to be one of the board members, one of the people helping out with this new ownership. I don't know if it's just paper talk. He's not going to be manager. I really hope not. I think Arsene Wenger was a very good manager for us at Arsenal. Nobody has yet to lace his boots. You got to give him credit when and where it's due. He brought up players like Thierry Henry from a young age. But I don't want to see us going backwards and, Arsene Wenger getting back into that managerial role.
Exactly.
No, you won't manage it. I don't think he would manage. I don't think he would manage
just have
it,
a role in the board or management-wise?
Yeah.
I agree, and I think that's good for him.
Look at United. It's working right now with Sir Alex Ferguson. He's doing the exact same role for Solskjaer. He's given him managerial experience. He's given him managerial advice. Whoever comes in, frankly, the greatest manager that Arsenal have ever had is Arsene Wenger.
That's a fact. Yeah.
Yes, he had years. Yes, he had years where he went 9 years for winning a trophy. That's what happens when you leave a stadium you actually win trophies in. Like, you were winning stuff at Highbury. I mean, it says it all, really. All Highbury, no trophy.
Somebody asked me earlier in the chat, would you take Mick McCarthy now at Cardiff? Would you have taken him at Arsenal? I, too, say hell no.
You need Rafa Benitez. You need Rafa Benitez, in my opinion.
And Nagelsmann were managers I wanted.
I'll tell you Mick McCarthy's football, because I'm a Cardiff fan. Yeah, his football. They say no to championship. He don't know his formations. Though you're gonna play boring football under him.
Yeah,
he's 62. He's boring. He thinks a 28-year-old
and it's the same lineup, the same formation every single time. You don't see sort of, competitive football out there on the pitch, and you don't see players, can we switch up formation? Can we switch a lineup? You don't see any progress and any creativity on the pitch under Mick McCarthy. I do want to mention this before I wrap up here. I am going to be on the Blind Gunner today at 6 p.m. UK time for a pre-match build-up and lineup reaction. You guys can either watch me celebrate or watch me have an absolute meltdown on the Blind Gunner. If you guys haven't already, I do want to give a massive respects to everybody who has tuned in, shown your support, and all the content creators in here who have your channels. Please feel free to leave your channel links in the comments in the live chat below. Most of us in here do support one another. Oh, here's a question. Reese, what do you think of the protests that happened? I know you mentioned some of it in the chat of Rich Sports' stream. In
Good
terms
question.
of, you know, breaking into Old Trafford, bossing the pitch, literally, sort of, you guys got the message across, but that sort of violence and that sort of, you know, attacking stewards, this, that, and the third. Where do you think the line was drawn? You guys made it to headlines the whole day, more than Newcastle losing to us. It was all about Glazers. Nobody cared about Arsenal's good performance. What are your thoughts about that, mate?
Well, I think everybody that knows me now, because I'm very active on Twitter, I'm active on Twitch as well. I think they know exactly what my opinions are, and I agree with the right to protest. I agree with the fact that fans were actually in the stadium. They were let in by stewards. That's been documented. That's been shown. I don't agree with the violence. I don't condone that. I don't agree with kicking the disabled access door in. That was disgusting for me. Throwing projectiles at broadcasters as well. One in particular was a senile Scotsman. I'll let that one slide. But on the other hand, you cannot tell a fan they don't have a right to protest, because they do. But you've got to protest. You've got to protest smartly. That's the difference. Yeah, and we are going to protest again on the 13th when we play Liverpool. That is going around Twitter. Seems to be confirmed. When we play Liverpool on the 13th, we will protest again.
We have one today, right before the game. There will be round 2. We have one today, right before the game, and it's really scary because after you guys setting the bar, and I don't want to say setting the bar, but more like leaving that sort of imprint in the media this week.
We practically have.
I'm really afraid UEFA will kick us out, because if our fans lose it and go crazy, we will not make it to where we need to be. We'll be out of everything. UEFA will kick us out.
They can't kick you out.
Mate, I really think they can. They have a lot of power.
They can't kick you out. UEFA are corrupt. They can't kick you out. What they will do is they'll impose sanctions, but they can't kick you out necessarily. What they can do is they can ban you for a few years if they deem it to be extremely necessary. Violence. It depends on how you act.
Comment I want to touch upon, I guess, before we wrap up. So rest in peace, Claude. God bless his soul. A lot of football fans. Tonight's a big moment. And I hope, we do Claude proud. Randy and Ricardo, if you're still watching, that tribute video you guys done together was really beautiful. Claude said he would have had Neil Warnock with the way Arsenal are going. Wow. I really hope, with the next manager we have in line is someone with a proper CV and proper experience. At this point, it's sad to say it's a big ask coming from, the way Arsenal have been right now. FPL Sparta, thank you for joining, mate. Do you want Arteta sacked now? Do I want Arteta sacked? If we win or if we lose, Wilson, you're probably going to rage at me for saying this. I do still want him gone. I think the job is way too big for his shoulders. But that being said,
a lifetime contract.
That being said, I want to give the Cronkies a summer transfer window and see what happens. Will they make big signings just to shut us up for the time being? Or will these protesters actually, do our club justice and bring us back to our winning days of, where we used to play at Highbury and actually won trophies and played for the badge? Only the protesters can save Arteta from Emery. Nothing wrong with protesting, but United fans did go too far in the stadium. Yeah.
Only a select few went too far. You need to remember that. It was only a select few.
That's the thing with the media. They often choose to show, because the media is owned and controlled by elite and for their media ratings, they often choose to show what they want to project.
Exactly.
And that's another thing is really important to keep in mind, is that there was a lot of people on the outsides and, having a peaceful protest. I'm surprised Spurs didn't have a protest. I've yet to see a Spurs protest. One or two fans, maybe.
Man City fans are protesting now. Man City fans are protesting now. What have they got to
Liverpool
protest
fans,
protest for having no fan
FSG
base.
out.
Let me tell you the
FSG out.
difference.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the difference. Because I think Man City and Chelsea's got credit in the bank because they've been successful of winning trophies. As far as Arsenal and Man U are concerned, they're both a shambles. They're both, well, their owners don't care about the club, basically. You know what I mean?
They only care about the other entities and the other businesses they own. And I don't know why that's the case when you have all that. You know, and the other thing is the people who went to the protest, not to criticize them or anything, why are you wearing the latest kit at the protest? You know, I don't get it. You gotta boycott, you know, season tickets, boycott the apparel. We just released a new training kit, by the way, guys. We released a new training kit, so it's like, here, guys, here's another outfit. You can cry in.
Retro.
Wow. Yeah, old school.
I'm done.
Yeah. And the other thing, Randy has mentioned this before. How can you be Arteta out but Kroenke in, or how can you be Kroenke in and Arteta out? It doesn't add up.
Exactly. It makes no sense.
Actually, to be fair, that does make a little bit of sense. I kind of get that because you can be against the ownership, but you can't. Yeah, you can be against the owner, but you can still back your manager. Not because people have got the same criticism for Solskjaer. Oh, he's a Glazer puppet. Well, how do you necessarily know that? He's not going to go out and directly comment against his owners. If we were in that sort of position, if I was the Man United manager, if you were the Arsenal manager, are you really going to go and comment on your employees? No, you'd be sacked on the spot. What you can do is you can have indirect comments that question you can make indirect comments that can necessarily question the leadership and the direction of the club
and the board. Yeah. And we're
that remains that your integrity doesn't get questioned. Exactly, your integrity wouldn't be questioned. It would be so what's actually being done above you that's being questioned.
Our board and our management with the Kroenkes, Vinay, Edu, I don't know where these people got their CV from, but it's really concerning on, you know, will this Daniel Ek thing actually go through, or are we just being led on in a wrath, some sort of hope? And you know what? Daniel Ek this week, I think they put a $1.9 billion bid. Will the Kroenkes actually be willing to sell the club? I know on Monday, Match of the Day, Thierry Henry came out and said, yes, I am part of, the bid. He confirmed it. So we knew it wasn't just paper talk. Previously, we were.
How much is he actually worth? That worries me. That actually concerns me. How much is he worth? Because he, you can understand Daniel Ek having them. Ek's got the money, we know that, but
Thierry Henry, how much money does he really have? Yeah.
I think Daniel Ek, he's worth between 3 to 4 billion.
Yeah.
So he's got a bit of money there.
And he's got shares in, I think the shares in Spotify are what money he has. Another thing I want to mention was previously Dangote, for the longest time ever, it was Dangote is going to buy the club, Dangote is going to buy the club. But not once did he put a bid in to buy the club.
Who?
Dangote, he's an African billionaire. Dangote. He was linked with, see, you haven't even heard of him. So that just validates my point even more that, he hasn't really done anything.
The only owners from over there I've heard of is the only owners I've heard in terms of out towards Africa or Asian countries for me is the Ambani family.
Okay,
that's the one that I particularly know of. But even the Saudis and the Abu Dhabi group, Qatari group, Qatari Sports Group, I know them, but this Dangote, never heard of him in my life, so I haven't got a clue what he does.
Yeah, so with the Dangote thing, it was just really paper talk, and then in the end, he didn't even go head to head with Silent Stan. For the longest time, it was just media headlines. Dangote is going to buy Arsenal. Dangote is going to save our club. And now when this Daniel Ek thing is happening, we haven't even heard from Dangote.
Exactly.
I do want to say something before I sort of end the stream here. Thank you, everyone, for joining and for tuning in. Thank you, FPL Sparta, for joining. Guys, do check out FPL Sparta's channel if you guys play fantasy football. He does do UCL fantasy football as well, which is quite interesting. I do want to sort of close on this point is, with the protests going on tonight at the Emirates, it's important that, you know, our fans act in a responsible manner and sort of represent, you know, what the Arsenal actually is, a proud club, and, you know, sort of stand up for what's right. Protesting is not wrong. I'm not against that. You know, having your say, having your voice, and standing up against, you know, the injustices that we've been dealt with for many years under, you know, this poor management, disgraceful management under Stan Kroenke, not investing, not caring whatsoever in, you know, improving our club. But to end on this point, every club has idiots, not clubs' fault who supports them and the way they act. So in this way, FPL Sparta is saying that it's not really the club's responsibility or liability in that case, you know, to tell people. And it's the same way here. Although we're giving advice on people what to do and what not to do in a protest, at the end of the day, it's their choice. And whoever decides to, you know, go to the far extreme of actually indicting violence and resorting to breaking into stadiums and trashing pitches. Although you get the message across, sometimes that message gets lost, and you do want to make sure you don't cross the line. Gunnar Gamer TV, thank you so much. Yes, mate, I'll see you there very soon. Thank you, everyone, for joining me in the chat and on the panel. I do want to say thank you, Static. I do want to say a massive shout out to everyone in the chat for joining and for taking part and showing your support. Sorry for not notifying a lot of you guys that I go live. I don't really do that. I have to, but I haven't really developed the sort of confidence to do that. Draxler, if you can please leave your channel link in the comments below. I do want to say a massive shout out to Ryan, the Cardiff City fan who joined. He's a very young kid, but he really knows his football. And if you guys can please show some love and respect. Reese, as a opposition fan and our rivals, I will never support Man United tonight, but I know you guys have already secured your spot in the final. Reese and Talk Menu, Reese, do you want to sort of shout out your socials and your Twitch?
Yes, so I'm on Twitter. It's at United Venom 7, and also if you're into Twitch gaming, I do regular streams. I'm just a general gamer. It's Reese_Lightning 1997. Thanks for having me on, Mel. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining. Wilson, I know you don't have a channel yet. I've been nailing you to make one. But we do see a lot of you on my channel, on This Is Luca's Life, on the road to 1K. Massive respects to Luca. Wilson, do you have any socials that you would like to shout out?
I've got Instagram. I've got Snapchat. So if anyone wants to follow me, it's Wilson. It's WZ1E50. That's my Instagram. I'll put that down in the comments as well.
And you guys in the comments, if you do want to leave your channel link below, do feel free in the live chat. In terms of the pinned comment above, it's someone very close to me. Some of you guys already know him. He does gaming content. He does Fortnite and montages. It'd be really nice and appreciated if you guys can support him and support his channel. Sorry for the background noise. I'm trying to tune it out. I'm not really good at live streaming. It's the first time I've done a very long show with guests, more guests on the panel. So thank you, everybody, for joining. Last but not least, I do want to end with tonight is do or die, go big or go home, literally. We're already playing from home, but it might be humiliating tonight on what's going to happen. It's do or die, it's Europa League or bust. And last but not least, up the Arsenal. Let's put on our best performance tonight and show Villarreal and Emery. Let's give Emery a bad evening tonight. And come on, you Gunners.
Arsenal, Arsenal, Arsenal.
Take care, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And have a good day. And up the Arsenal.
Arsenal.